Hey everyone, this is Superang, and I'm here to show you Bowser, the changes I've made to him, which are featured in my mod of the game Super Smash Bros. Melee. I like to call my mod Project Cal. So let's jump right in. So first off, we all know that Bowser is pretty slow at jumping, so most characters have like a jump squat ranging from 3 frames to 6. 3 frames are like Kirby, Fox, Samus, and I think Sheik too. And then 6 frame jump squads like Ganondorf, Link. I think those are the only 2 really. So basically Bowser had an 8 frame jump squat, which was 2 frames slower than everyone else. I just reduced it by 1, so it is still slower than the majority of the cast. Well, it is slower than the rest of the cast, but not by 2 frames, just 1, which helps out. Actually, more than you would think. Landing lag was also reduced. 4 frames is pretty much the standard landing lag. A lot of characters have, or there are some characters that have more though, like Ganondorf, I think, and DK have 5 frames landing lag. So that was changed for Bowser as well, from 6 frames, which was a tier slower than everyone else, to 5, which matches the other heavy characters. So that's nice. Those 2 frames help a lot. And I also increased his aerial jump. It has a little bit more height to it, which was helpful with ledge guarding, stuff like that. On the ledge, it helps to have that extra height. It comes handy in some situations. So right off the bat, we got some good changes there. Next up, his spot dodge. I improved the frame data on that as well. It used to have 12 frames and lag. So basically 4 frames startup and then 12 frames end lag. So if you tried to spot dodge twice, there was 16 frame window to punish, which is kind of a big window actually. So that has been changed. Still has 4 frames startup, but intangibility lasts 2 frames longer, and he can act out a spot dodge 3 frames faster. So the window would essentially be 11 frames now, which is still should be a good amount of time to punish, but not as much. Bowser won't be as vulnerable when he's trying to use an option that helps him dodge moves, which is nice. Next up, we've got his jabs. Jabs are pretty much left unchanged for the most part. Nothing really funky going on, just the hitboxes themselves are a little bit larger, which help him control space a little bit better. So that's still pretty close and still having a hard time hitting. But his second jab has 2 frames reduced off of it, so he can act out of it sooner, which is nice. It's kind of like a theme of Bowser's just taking frames off where there were too many, as you'll see. Dash attack pretty much the same, just 2 frames reduced, so a little bit safer overall, which is nice. And then his forward tilt, I actually reduced the damage a little bit. Even by a little bit, I mean 1%. Used to do 14, now it does 13. So not as good at killing, but it's still great at, covering ledge, and it's pretty fast, and it still hits pretty hard. You can send people off stage pretty reliably with that move. So still good, just not as strong. Up tilt, kind of the same treatment. It has less knockback growth, so it doesn't kill off the top as easily. used to kill off the top on its own, which was kind of corny. Now it just puts him in a real bad position, but it takes more time to kill, which I feel like is a good, change in my opinion. Up Tilt also has 2 frames less end lag on it, so you can act out of it sooner. Next up, we have Down Tilt, which was a move that was really strange in Vanilla Melee. Didn't really work at all, and it did a ton of damage if you're able to land both hits. It did like 28 damage or something crazy. So that was thrown out. Didn't really work anyways. Now it's just a 2-hit move. First hit has set knockback, so it links into the second hit better. The damage overall was reduced, but I did add some shield damage to it. So if they try to shield, it's pretty good at trying to poke shields and just pressuring shields overall. If I can angle and attack at the same time. So there's that, which is a nice change. Also has a lot of end lag reduced. Had used to act out of it on frame 55, now it's 48, so 7 frames are dropped, which is nice. Also, important to mention is his head is also intangible. I think me and the Cape both made that change. It's kind of funny. I think I posted about it, so I don't know if he liked the idea or something. Not sure who had it first, but his head is intangible, so characters like Marth can't just grab him out of Down Tilt, which would happen before, which was kind of dumb. So Down Tilt is just a little bit safer overall now, which is nice. Next up, we have Smash Attacks, and I don't have this in my change notes actually, but Smash Attacks all have 12 frames extra time to charge. So normally it's 60 frames sitting here. Now it has an extra 12, which can not only adds extra power to Bowser Smash Attacks, but if people try to call out the Smash Attack and aren't aware of the different timing, they'll get smacked real hard by it, which fits right in line with Bowser's character design. Alright, so Forward Smash. This move basically just does more shield damage. It's not enough to break shields on its own, but it makes it really safe and shrinks shields a lot. So this is definitely a scary move to block, if not only to get hit by. So that move is changed. Next, Up Smash. For the most part, it's the same, but the weak falling hit. I don't know if I'll be able to show you. Let's see. Oh, yep, that's it. Pops you up, and it's got the hitbox is last 2 frames instead of 1. Alright, and then down smash, the angle was reduced, so it's better at letting all the different hits connect, which is nice. Also does a little more shield damage, which isn't a ton in and of itself, but any shield damage is appreciated, basically. And the final hit, lasts 2 frames instead of 1. The hurt box would disappear after only 1 frame. Now it has 2, which just helps it land better. And it also has 4 frames less end lag at the end. So you can still, as you can see, that comboed into Nair. You can still get stuff. You can land moves off of down smash, which is really good. This move is also ridiculous. Well, I don't think it's ridiculously good, but it's strong against characters trying to recover. If they don't sweet spot the ledge, down smash does cover ledge a little bit, and it can scoop them up. And since it has his hurt box gets smaller because his legs are tracked into the shell, just makes the move really good and hard to trade with, especially from below. And it's also good at catching rolls and stuff like that too, so pretty good move. It has more utility, which is nice. And next we have Bowser's aerials, which were pretty much all improved. Only one unchanged was up air, but just for starters, his neutral air, it does a little bit less damage from 13 to 12. Does a teeny bit less damage, but it does now have an added weak hit. So before the move only had a strong hit, now it has a weak hit too, which helps the move combo at higher percents. It still has the same sound effect, so it's kind of hard to, doesn't really have an audio cue of when you land it, but it's definitely there. The move also has less land lag from 30 frames to 25, which means 12 from 15 to 12 when you L cancel it, which is nice. Next is forward air. Basically, the knockback of this move was reduced, but in exchange it was given more damage, 14 to 15. It still doesn't hit quite hard enough to kill on its own, but it's great at setting up ledge guards and helps Bowser build damage, which he kind of struggles to do actually because he doesn't have the best combos in the game. Forward air also has slightly less land lag from 30 frames to 28, which is from 15 to 14 L cancelled. Next is Bowser's back air. This move had a really low angle in Vanilla Melee. It was lower than Sheik's forward air. Now it has an angle of 32, which is still pretty steep. So that's still pretty good. And also the move just, you can act out of the move sooner. The interruptible frame was reduced from 50 to 42, so you can act out of it sooner, and the auto cancel window was reduced from 45 to 36. So this move is just faster overall. Before he couldn't even full hop double jump back air twice, as you can see I'm doing. And also doing back air from the ledge was, I'm pretty sure it wasn't even possible, or if it was like next to frame perfect to make it back. Now it's a lot more lenient, which is nice. Can also drop forward air, which is easier for Bowser now. Next we have down air. Down air in Vanilla Melee sent them at an upward angle. Now it's a meteor, so it's better at pinning characters down, and the final hit keeps them a little bit closer, but not too close, so Bowser can kind of get follow-ups off of it, which is nice. Puts him right into like forward tilt or jab range, down tilt range, or even like up B range, stuff like that. So that's nice. It's more, it fits into his combo game better, so that's nice. And then basically his forward air, or forward throw and back throw are just a little bit stronger, which helps Bowser create space. They won't really kill ever, but they're just better at getting characters off stage and getting them out of Bowser's face, which is where Bowser struggles a little bit. Next up, we have the Bowser special moves. So we have the bite at the end of the flame breath, which you can hear by the sound and the little sparkle. You can see it from the little sparkle when he closes his mouth. It also just helps them move be a little bit safer, and it can kind of set up into stuff, maybe like a back area or something like that. So that's cool. His side B, the Koopa Claw, the grab boxes on it were increased slightly, so it's just easier to connect with, especially, which was also a lot harder to do in the air, and now it's a little bit easier. The move is still pretty slow, so it's a matter of timing more than anything, but should be a little bit easier to go for, as you can see. So there's that. And now up B changes. Up B itself, the starting hitbox, the damage was reduced from 13 to 11. The move could kill on its own, the strong hit, which was kind of lame. So that was changed, so wasn't it broken? It was broken in my opinion anyways. Also, up B has more momentum in the air, so he's better at covering, which is good since Bowser's going to get knocked around a lot because he's heavy, has a large hitboxes or hurt boxes, and falls fast. So he needs to be able to recover reliably, which he can do better now. Last of all, in the air, the move also has a finishing hit. If I can show that to you. Basically just makes the move safer if the opponent tries to challenge it without being safe. So that's nice. It's the final hit, which is kind of tricky to land, so it doesn't land every time, but it's good when it does. And then last of all, probably the special move that was changed the most was Bowser Bomb, the down B. So now this move does crazy shield damage. Almost breaks shields on its own, and it has 2 hits. I think if it hits a second hit, it's pretty much guaranteed to break shields. It also has less land lag. When it lands, it used to do 60 frames of lag, now it's 52, so it's slightly safer. However, you can still punish it easily if it misses. So there's that. Also, the angle it sends at now is a meteor. And I'll talk about that in just a sec. But it sends at a meteor angle, so if it does land on stage, it puts them in a lot of hit stun. Like, more than Ganon down air. So you can get stuff off of it like that, true combo, which is pretty nuts. It also just makes the move fun to use off stage too. Be disrespectful, which is fun. And then also, like I was saying, there's a hitbox while the move's in the air, and when he lands, there's a hitbox. It's pretty small, the landing one, but if it does connect, that's the one that grounds the person. So you can get stuff off of it like that. So yeah, that pretty much covers it. So just a lot of improvements to frame data and the aerials, importantly, and the special moves are just more threatening overall, which should help Bowser be a more complete character that can actually compete, which should be nice. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.